So I did Appalachian and did my music degree, but I was always interested in theater. And Blue Ridge Community Theater was a big thing in that time. And they did a lot of their shows in Boone and Blowing Rock. And so I'd never been in a show before in my life. And I randomly went to audition for Annie. And so I did the audition, had never auditioned for anything in my life. And I was a sophomore, so at this time I was 20-ish, 20. And again, so I'm like asking all my music major friends, like, what do I do? How do I prepare? Will you practice this with me? I don't know what I'm supposed to do, whatever. So I went and I was cast as Bert Healy. So he sings You're Never Fully Dressed Without a Smile. And I was in the ensemble, and I was all these little things for my very first role I'd ever, my very first show. So I was overwhelmed. And then I met the director, which was Janet Spear, and we all call her Doc, and she was just wonderful. And I fell in love with doing theater. And so every year while I finished my degree at Appalachian, I always did that spring musical with Blue Ridge. And so after Annie, it was West Side Story, and I was not a dancer. And so learn. And they were like, okay, time for the dance audition. And I watched the dance audition and I said, nope, can't do that. And I left, and I still got cast in the show. And then after that, we did Children of Eden. And then that's when I approached Doc and was like, I think I want to explore this more. And she was like, come on over to Lees-McRae. No need to audition. You've been auditioning for the past 3 years, basically. So we know what you can do. And so I came over and did musical theater. At that time, it was called Performing Arts Studies. So I got a lot of everything, a lot of tech, a lot of the performing aspect. It was fantastic. And it was small. I remember one of my classes had 2 students in it, me and one other person. And that was dialects and accents.
Oh, gosh. I can only imagine how much fun that was.
It was really fun. It was a lot of fun. And, we had Highlanders show choir. So we would go on tour sometimes to different churches in the area. And the gated communities we would go and perform for. We had the Christmas concert, we always did a Christmas show every year, and it was a collaboration of the then dance program, and there would be dance pieces and theater pieces, and Highlanders would sing, and everyone in the audience who knew Handel's Messiah would come on stage, and they would sing the Hallelujah chorus. And it was Christmas trees and wreaths, and the stage was just beautifully decorated. And I don't think that they do that as much anymore, or it fell off for a little while. And I just remember that being so much fun, and just all of those performance experiences, and being able to learn something that I knew nothing about and just happened to come into by chance, and meant the world. And to have all of those professors that were so wonderful to learn from, and I attribute more than half, I shouldn't say half, I attribute most of what I am as a theater artist to everyone there, and when I did my master's in theater ed at UNCG, I learned a little more, but I still fall back to what I learned at Lees-McRae.
Who were some of the professors there that changed your life?
Well, Janet, Dr. Spear, everyone, like I said, called her Doc. There was just something about the way that she taught, and that she was able to teach by example, and she was able to pull things out of people, and she knew how to encourage, but it was not a false sense of encouragement. It was, if she's giving you a compliment or if she's encouraging you, that it means something, and you don't take that lightly, Dr. Crabtree, Casey Crabtree, she was my arts management teacher, and I had her for career management. And so we all built these, businesses, performing arts businesses, from our brains in her class. And it was incredible. And everything I learned, I'm also a part-time artistic director for a theater company. And everything I know how to do, I learned from her, Mr. Taylor, Jim Taylor was my voice teacher. And before him, I was not confident in my voice. And inadvertently, he helped me gain so much confidence in my voice. It's kind of one of those byproducts of education. Yes, he taught me voice, and yes, he taught me, more music, but through that process, I became much more confident. This is my 13th year teaching, and I think I've had 10 students to go through Lees-McRae and the program there.
I was going to ask how, if we're like a feeder program for you yet, because as I'm hearing this and all these students that you have, that you're changing their life.
Yeah.
So 10 have come to Lees-McRae.
I believe 10. One
Wow.
is there right now. He's in his junior year. I have another student there who's not doing theater, but he goes to school there. And I think it's somewhere, I think it's either at 10 or it's approaching 10.
Tell me what advice, because it's our 120th anniversary, what advice would you give to the next 120 years of Bobcats?
I would say, in terms of what you learn what you learn. And that means you are going to learn what you want to learn. And if you don't want to learn something, and this is what I tell my students, you're going to push it to the back. And you have to remember why you were there. What is it that drew you there? Why are you studying this? And it's because you love it in some way, shape, or form. So you're going to learn what you learn. And if you keep that in mind, I'm here to learn, to do A, B, and C. I want to do this. If you use it as your stepping stone, if you use it as a true molding place, a place where you can come into your own, it will help propel you to wherever you want to go. But you have to be willing to do that first. You have to be willing to learn first. I would not be who I am if I had never gone to Lees-McRae. And I 100% believe that. Every student that I have that asks about going there, I say, well, I would not be who I am if I had not gone there, and it is a place that has done so much for me internally, as well as externally, but inside of me, it has done so much. And oftentimes that growth and that power, it is hard for us to manifest a way to pay that back. So we serve. And that's, one of Edgar Tufte's big things is to serve others. And Lees-McRae is that place where they teach you to serve, and you go out and become servants of the world and servants of goodness and servants of love. So it's in our calling. If you're a Bobcat, it's in your calling.